Well, hey there, sweet peas. Welcome back to Friendless. I'm your host, James Avramenko, back with a very special episode. He is a ice cream production supervisor and famously safest boy in Vancouver, the one, the only, Taylor Padget. Without indulging in any gory details, I will admit this is an example of the pitfalls of pre-recording episodes months in advance because life in the interim has taken us in two very different directions. The birthday we talk about later on in the episode is actually the event that catalyzed my getting sober, which is absolutely no shade on anyone but myself for my behavior that weekend. I'll admit though, I have gone back and forth on whether or not I should release this episode, and I decided I'm going to because it really genuinely was such a pleasure to get to know Taylor a little bit better and get a chance to speak to him one-on-one in a way that I'd never had the chance to. He's a good man, he's a good friend, but he does still have my Twin Peaks t-shirt, god damn it. But enough about that, let's dive right in. Lean back, get comfy, set your volume at a reasonable level, and enjoy my interview with Taylor Padget here on Friendless. Let's get into this. Here we go. This week on Friendless, I have a dear friend from my halcyon days of Vancouver. Technically quite a, in a relative term, quite a new friend, last 2 years, and just a lovely, lovely little baby. The one, the only, Taylor Padget.
Hi, bonjour. How are you doing?
I'm doing so good now.
Yeah, you like that?
I do.
Okay,
I did.
Thank you so much.
I do, and I did. It's funny. I tend to lead in with the very stock. How are you doing? But
Yeah.
you beat me.
Well, got to the point first.
I don't know how to feel about that now.
Well, it'll pass.
God, I'm like off my game now. So Taylor, the audio medium where he's just
Flicking my hair that doesn't exist.
So
Tossing it.
Taylor, for listeners who may not know you, may not be familiar with you, who the hell are you?
Hi, yeah. My name's Taylor. I work at Ernest Ice Cream. It's great. I moved here from Saskatoon 11 years ago for culinary school, and been here since, and I love it, and that's it.
and that's everything.
That's all you need to know. Yeah. Oh, and I'm a big faggot.
Famously tight-lipped, Taylor.
Famously. Is this sponsored? Can I say that?
Of course you can. This is very independent.
Love.
Yeah, no, you talking about that our little meet cute on the beach. That was such a fun day because I got to meet like this whole batch of people who up until that point I had only known names, and I'd hear these names. I'd hear Tony, I'd hear Taylor, I'd hear JJ, I'd hear Jake, and I'd be like, oh yeah, they sound nice, like those are nice names. I'm sure the person attached to them is lovely. And then I met you all, and you were all just dead.
Oh yeah, it was a fun day for you. It was the worst day of my life. It was Pride Monday. I think we didn't get to rec till 4:30.
Oh, it was late
because we were I think I slept maybe 7 hours the entire weekend. I laid on my blanket. I think I said 2 words the entire time. I was dying, so nauseous. I cracked a can. I think I had 3 sips of it. I was like, get me the fuck off this beach and get me into a bed, but I just needed to be there. So it was great to meet you. However, block that out of my memory.
I really, I understand that there is a history connected to the queer community and Rec Beach, but I also want to know what masochist is making that continue in the year of our Lord 2023.
Specifically for Pride? Pride Monday?
Because it's always Pride Monday at Rec Beach, and it's we know better now.
Right.
We can, some tradition should die,
Yeah, and for me, that year it did.
We didn't go back this year.
We did not go back this year. No, yeah, it's holiday weekend. There's no more events. Everyone just wants to lay in the sun and finish off their little baggies that they have collect it over the weekend and have some drinks and drink off their hangover. So I love that. I love that for them.
Completely.
Mm-hmm.
I want to come back to, so obviously we have a shared experience within Saskatoon. We didn't cross over in town, but we have.
Surprisingly.
Well, not surprisingly, I was in the very insular theater community. Also, you had been gone for, at that point, 7 years.
That is true. That is 7 years at that point?
Let's see. I moved there 2017.
Oh, yeah, long gone.
Yeah. But I'm endlessly fascinated by that city, especially because you grew up there, and I just, when I moved there, it was such a, I don't know. There's lots of words that come to mind. I don't want to just like outright disparage it, but it's bizarre.
A shithole.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. Thank you. I feel like someone from there is allowed to say that, but
100%.
But it's like one of the things that really struck me, and maybe you can speak to it more, is this like really bizarre, like it feels like a city that shouldn't exist and it knows it, but nobody wants to leave.
Yeah.
So it just stays.
Yeah.
And perpetuates.
Yeah.
You know,
it's kind of like a liminal space where like, is it real? Is it like, what is happening here? Yeah. Like I've been gone for 11 years and like things have changed back home. But it still feels very much like the exact same. Like the only thing that's like new will be like new restaurants or like new little like shops, but like the city still feels the exact same. There's like doesn't feel like it's changed. It's like stuck in time.
Is there something to like? I wonder though, is that Canadian cities or is that just in Saskatoon? Because like I had that same feeling in Calgary when I went back after being away for a decade, and it's like I was having these really weird feelings where I was having this like double deja vu of like walking down a street that I was so familiar with and so much was similar, but then the things that were changing or had changed was like really like kind of fucking with my mind. Do you have that experience when you go back?
Yeah, it like when I go back, I feel like I don't recognize the city and I don't know it anymore, which is funny because it's still the exact same. But it feels like I'm like a new person in that town. So it can be very weird going back. But like as much as it is, as I called it, a shithole, I do like love going there for like seeing family, and like we have beautiful, beautiful summers. And like a lot of like fun events. Yeah, it's good to like pop in and like pop back out, but I like can't see myself living there.
That was always my thing, was that like especially working in the theater, casts would come in, they'd be touring, they'd pop in, they'd be there for 2 weeks, and they'd be like, "Oh, I love this place. It's perfect. It's beautiful." I'd be like, "Stay for 3."
Wait till winter comes.
Literally.
Till 6 months of winter, minus 40.
My God. I mean, I've told this story many times on the podcast, but like when I drove out January 1st last year, it was minus 42.
Oh my God.
My U-Haul almost didn't start.
Jesus Christ.
Like it's just, it's ungodly. There's that's literally whatever force of nature created Earth is telling us, don't live here. This is not for you. This is for those little birds that can somehow survive, even though they're teeny tiny and they have no right to. But they're here and you shouldn't be.
And people don't leave, which they're just like, I love having to plug my car in and have it not start in the morning. I love having to let it run for 40 minutes. No, it's great. It's great.
I guess it is the only place it's the only city I've lived in where you can get away saying things like Buena Vista with a straight face and not having everyone
Buena Vista. That's disgusting. I'm gonna gag.
So when you moved to Vancouver, was that like, so you said you went to culinary school. Was that like your top choice? Was it like Vancouver and you found the school, or was it you found the school and it happened to be in Vancouver, or what was the sort of thinking there?
At the time I was looking at schools, and there's one in Vancouver and then one in was it in Quebec? Oh no, maybe Ottawa. I think it was Ottawa. The like Cordon Bleu. Cut that out. That sounded pretentious. It's called the Cordon Bleu.
I'm leaving all that in.
Bleu. Okay, my French comes out there for a hot second. And like I didn't want to move there alone. And like Ottawa didn't seem like exciting to me. And then one of my best friends was also wanting to move to Vancouver, like same school, but for graphic design. And I was like, well, I'd way rather go out there with you. And like, it's like such a prettier city. I'd been here once in like grade 9 for like a school trip, so it was like I was sold on this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like Vancouver is the pipe dream of every prairie city. Like I remember visiting. I think I visited like twice when I was a kid, and I just like from 7 years old, I was like, that was the city.
Yeah.
That's the one I need to live in. You know.
Yeah. Like I didn't grow up like seeing mountains or like having like a beach. Like there's like a river through our city that you can like swim on the like or the like sandbars only a couple times in the year, and like man-made lakes that are just disgusting. And there's like there's like a little tiny ski hill that like was made back in maybe the 70s or 80s. It's literally made out of garbage.
I know.
Garbage.
I know.
Like it's just, and it's ridiculous. And so like leaving that to like come to here, I'm just like, oh, this is where I need to be.
Yeah.
I need to put my fucking toes in the goddamn ocean.
I really love when people in Saskatoon say things like, "Oh, I went to the beach this weekend."
Like, you did what? You went to a slough?
Right.
Like, it's a dirty ass.
There are no
slough.
leeches in the ocean.
Oh God.
Actually, maybe there are. I don't know. I don't know these things, but there certainly are in Saskatoon. And so that took you to, through school you got hooked up in earnest. How did you sort of come about that role? Like what's the story there?
Yeah,
and what exactly do you do, I guess, is the other thing.
So I'm one of the sous chefs at Ernest Ice Cream. So I work in the production kitchen at the Francis Street location, like helping run the kitchen, doing ordering, scheduling, there's a bit of admin side, and then like also being in the like part of creating the recipes and making new flavors and like doing little tests and like sending them off to the exec team and like having their feedback. And I feel like a little kid just making random creations and flavors, and it's great. It's Ernest is the best job I've ever had. It's such a great company. And yeah, I was like working in kitchens before that, like not any like baking or pastry side, but like full kitchens, working like late with like really shitty people. Kitchens can be very toxic, and I've been working in a kitchen since I was like 15, and I was just quite like that was all I knew. And
I've watched The Bear. I know.
I haven't watched it.
It's great, actually.
Yeah,
I love it.
It's like on my list,
but it's very stressful.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
like that's what my life was, and I like always knew of Ernest, just from the city, and then I had a friend who worked at Ernest, and they were hiring, and I like was just like, yeah, fuck yeah, I'm like I want to switch up, change, like it was a huge role change, went like from a GM of a kitchen to like a little baby production supervisor, and then climbed my way up to the top quite quickly, and here we are, sous chef.
I love it. And so you one of the things that I love about you working there is that every once in a while I get little free samples and stuff, and it's like the only way that I can afford Ernest Ice Cream is getting your like discards, you know.
Or just send me a text. I don't think I haven't paid for ice cream in like 4 years.
That's true.
Just yoink.
That's fair. How do you come up with new flavors? Do you just are you eating something and you're like, I want to put this in cold cream?
That's it. Can I just dunk this in a glass of milk? It's not solely just like on my shoulders. Our head chef, who's been there for quite a while, she has a big role in it as well. And the executive team and like the co-owners, they'll like maybe see something somewhere else, or they'll follow like some current trends, or we have like an ideas bucket like online where staff can like throw ideas in, and then from there we'll just make like little tests, and like we'll look at these flavor ideas and see like when they fit into like what season or like what month like in our flavor calendar, and then they'll kind of give us like a rough guideline, like we want this kind of base and maybe this inclusion, or it'll just be like we want something that's crunchy that has blah blah blah, and then me, the other sous chef, and my boss, we kind of go and talk about it, come up with ideas, pull up little recipes, and just make like little like 1 liter tests of like a lot of different ways to do like an inclusion or different bases. And then those go to the production meeting, and then the executive team, the coners, they taste it, they give feedback, and then we make any tweaks, and then they'll taste it again, and then after that it goes into like production, whether that's the next month or a couple months later. So it's a big like process, and a lot of hands are involved in it.
It sounds so fun. I love it. I have to admit, my ADHD brain kind of split for a second, and I started having this very intrusive thought about if Tiger is sort of like black licorice flavor,
Right.
why is there no red licorice equivalent?
Because I love that question. Red licorice is just like strawberry.
You could call it lion.
Okay, I'm getting the fuck out of here.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. The interview's over. I'm sorry.
Bye.
Yeah.
No, like Twizzlers are just like strawberry flavored.
I guess they are, aren't they?
Yeah, and
Okay.
like black licorice is not.
I guess in my head I have strawberry is strawberry and licorice is licorice, and never the two shall twain.
Right.
You know?
I will blend up some Twizzlers for you, put it in like a little deli, and just make it just for you.
Yes,
Yeah.
I think that's what I was leading for. I was passively
Right.
circling to like, could you just put some licorice in my
Yeah,
ice
it'll be
cream?
rock hard licorice.
Well, that's what got me thinking about it, was that it was like Tiger is like, it's like liquefied black licorice, right? So it's like, yeah, I wouldn't want to just
melt down like black licorice, and
what is it then?
it's like star anise.
That's what it. Oh, okay. What the fuck is that? I didn't go to culinary school. I don't know what the fuck sour anise
No,
is.
that's your homework.
Okay,
You have
that's
to pull
fair.
it up.
That's
It's like
fair.
a spice. It's like you'll once you see it, you'll recognize it. But it looks like a little star, and it's like hard, and it's like it's a spice.
I love it.
Yeah.
Is that why those like Cold Stones had a big flash in the pan and then died? Because I remember going there once, and I put all the candy I thought I ever wanted in my ice cream, and then I took one bite and I chipped a tooth.
Rock hard. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. You can't just take like any kind of like pre-made item and like throw it into ice cream and then eat it. Like it'll get really, really hard. So you have to like essentially I just add more sugar, or you add like butter to it, depending on like what it is. Yeah. It's gonna be rock hard if you just throw in like nerds in there. You have to like make your own nerds.
I thought it was such a good idea to put like Sour Patch Kids in there. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
this is gonna rule, and then it didn't rule.
Like Cold Stone, like because it's being like made on the spot, and then you're eating it like right then. That's like probably like a little in the middle of like it'll be fine, but like if you're freezing it, like and putting it into a big machine and then putting it into our blast freezer that's -40 and then going out, like it's gonna be shit. You rock hard. You're gonna bust a tooth open on that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Learn from my mistakes, listeners.
Learn from your mistakes.
That actually kind of spins me into the first of the big questions of the show.
Oh, no.
Talking about friends who helped get you jobs and all these kinds of things, and meeting through our mutual friends, and having sex with some of those friends, and and all those things, right? A real central question of this show, and what I am continually working through, is this question of whether or not I've been a good friend, and sometimes I think I have, sometimes I know I haven't, and sort of like unpacking those really conflicting and sometimes very like shameful infused thoughts, and as I unpack that for myself, I've become really fascinated with what friendship means to other people, and that's kind of become one of the sort of tentpole questions that I ask you now is, to you, what does it mean to be a friend?
I think like I moved here just before my 19th, and like I don't have any family here. I moved with one friend, and so to like kind of start all brand new and like not have that support system like that I'm used to, coming here and like finding those people that you connect with and like make that community, and like like chosen family is such a huge, important like part of people's lives, and I was so thankful that I've been able to find like my second family here, and like those people show up for me, and um yeah, it feels really like special to have a like chosen family. And whenever I like tell my like straight friends or like my family back home like about that concept, they're like, I don't get it. Like, what do you mean like a chosen family? And I'm like, it's people that like you choose to be in your life, because some family is shit, and some people just don't show up for you. But to have those people that like you choose to have them in your life, and they choose you to be in their life, and it's like it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. And I think I got sidetracked. My also ADHD was just like, here we are.
I love it. I love it. No, I this is actually really simultaneously it's one of my favorite parts of this question. It's also my favorite part of podcasting in general, is that it's like, this is literally, the room is yours. Just go. I love listening to you. I could listen to you tell a story for hours. So just please,
Love it.
It's also, it's such an open-ended question, right? It's
Mhm.
like, and so I love to hear just what the impulse is, and what the, it's not even just the concept, but what does the question mean to you, right?
Mhm.
And where does it take you? And I agree. I think a term like chosen family obviously has such deep roots within the queer community, and
Mhm.
is one of those things that like sometimes makes little springs out into like, especially like, not to sound too much like a dickhead, but especially into like straight women culture,
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Okay. Mhm.
And so it's there is this power within it, and I think for myself right now, where I'm at is really recognizing that like I'm sort of still in that phase you were in when you came here. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? I am still kind of finding my people.
Mhm. It's
With,
because you were in Saskatoon.
well, exactly. I was isolated. I got divorced in Saskatoon. I lost all the friends there. Came here and have no friends. So it's like I'm still in the process of like figuring out where I fit in.
Mm.
And obviously there's like, maybe I'll cut this part as I say it, but I'm just gonna say it to you to continue the conversation. Is like there's difficulty in a relationship breaking up, and then like who gets the friends, and like there becomes lots of
Mhm.
tension with that, and so it's like, you know, when you lose the relationship, you don't just lose that, you lose the whole group,
Yeah. Yeah.
and you don't get to slot in, and that kind of has to be the way it is, and so now I'm sort of back at square one again of like, well, where the fuck do I fit then, right?
Mm.
I'm just some fucking late 30s faggot, you know? No fucking friends, a remote job,
New start time.
Look out, boys.
Woo! Now you can make some friends because you have to be up at 5 in the morning.
um, but the concept is so important to me, and it's such a powerful tool, and I think that's one of my conflicts around friendship, is this idea of like, I think I am so desperate for a chosen family that I put this sort of like this pressure on every connection I build to be family connection. But then at the same time, I'm also like, yeah, but family fucked me. So
Right.
I actually don't want you near me
Yeah.
at all. It's this hard push pull of like, I don't want to let you in at all, but I also need you to treat me like I'm your baby.
I'm your baby. Yeah. Yeah. I get that.
And I want to rush it is the other thing, right? I just want it to be like, now we're intimate,
Yeah.
Like I don't want to like spend 2 years getting to know someone and building trust and developing that. It's like, no, we're best friends today, Like, what, I don't know. What do you?
Yeah, I mean, I've been here for like 11 years, and so like my friendship like friendships have grown and changed, and it's very much different than it was when I first moved here. But
Getting
wait, what
clapped.
was the question again?
You were talking about your friendships changing.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So like just like like you were saying that like you want it now, and you don't want to have to put in the not effort, but like you just like you're like I want it now. Like I like crave that so much. Yeah. It takes time, and Like it's always ever changing. But it's taken me like 11 years to like finally have the circle that I have now, and it feels like so worth the wait.
Yeah.
It's beautiful, and you're a part of that.
Well,
Little bitch ass. I don't have any friends. Go fuck yourself.
well, ish, you know.
Okay, I feel like half of our friends in our group want to fuck you. So
That's not the same as being friends.
okay, well, in the gay community it is.
Okay, fair. I've been around the straights too long. Okay, I was too immersed in straight culture.
You and Mal need to snap out of that.
I know.
What is the best tough decision that you've ever made?
I mean, like, yeah, like the easy answer is probably like moving back here, you know, because that was obviously pretty rough. But it was funny because it felt like the decision had kind of already been made because I was already gearing up before the divorce. We were going to be moving back here anyway, and so I was sort of already on that kind of momentum of coming back, and I'd already gotten good with it. But the actual, like, I think I could go much further back, and it would be when I went to Victoria for university. You know, like 17, got kicked out of my mom's house, and just had to get through the summer and come to school. And I had, you know, my first girlfriend, and I was like, oh, and I'm just gonna stay and figure it out here, and like I just did not want to go at all. But I had it in my head that I was going to be an actor, and I had gotten into theater school, and I remember the night before I went, I just like cried and cried and cried and cried and cried, and and when I moved out, you know, got on a plane, flew out, landed, and it was like, I mean, Victoria's like Oz, you know, like it's like I flew out of Calgary where it was just like brown, you know, and it's literally like when Dorothy like opens the door and it's like Technicolor, you know, like
Colors
it just
come in,
unfucking believable, you know, and so I think yeah, making myself go through with it, because I'm also somebody who will, especially on big stuff like this, I have bail last minute all the time. I've bailed on so many things last minute that like could have been like big, and every time I just like freak out and talk myself out of it. And so I'm very happy, despite the fact that like, as I've talked about on the show many times, like theater school was like not a great time for like anyone who went anywhere, but especially the Phoenix, you know. But like I am still glad I did it, you know? And so I think, you know, I hate that, like, yeah, the struggle made me better, because fuck that shit. But at the same time, too, it probably did, you know?
The struggle made it better. I love that. Should I get that tattooed?
Definitely. On your face.
Okay, but in your handwriting.
Yes.
In your chicken scratch.
Yeah. I'll scrawl it across your eyebrows.
I think that'd be hot.
You could be like Post Malone.
Oh my god. Yeah, let's do it.
Tonight. You're gonna pierce my ears, and I'm gonna tattoo your face.
Yeah, I did not bring my stick and poke kit, which poor planning.
Like, actually, really, really bad move.
Oh well, I didn't want chicken scratch on my forehead. But
you knew
I'm gonna pierce your ears. It's gonna be great. I pierced my best friend's on the weekend. It was fun. This will be, I think my first time doing it sober, which could be a good thing or a bad thing.
Yeah.
Every single one has turned out amazing.
Yeah.
But I've been blackout.
Right.
So this could be, I don't know, maybe I'll slip and
Could be bad.
pierce your neck.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yep.
Struggle makes it better.
Oh my god. That's such an interesting question, though, about like tough decisions. You know, like, did you find it tough to move from Saskatoon, or were you just like, I'm out of here, I'm gone?
I think at the time I was very much like, get me out of here.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I had a very lovely experience growing up. I have like a great family. So it wasn't like I was trying to get away from them. I just like, I would look around at like family or like cousins or like friends, and just everyone like their life was just like finish high school, stay in Saskatoon, get married, have kids, get a house, blah blah, and it just felt like their life was like planned out. And I'm like, I don't want to do that. I mean, not that I'm against any of those things. Like those,
It's just not for you.
I might do some of those things. I might do all of them, but I didn't want to be like stuck in the same place that I grew up in. Like I wanted to go and like see the world.
Mm-hmm.
So moving was quite an easy choice. And like now that I'm older, I'm so happy that I made that choice. But it gets harder, like when I have to say goodbye to like family every like time I go home.
Mm-hmm.
So like that sucks. But then I like get on a plane and I fucking land here and I'm like, oh my god. No, all those feelings that I like, all that sadness I was feeling like an hour ago, like gone,
Mm-hmm.
gone.
Mm-hmm.
There's a mountain.
Literally.
I can see it.
There's several.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's like, I'm gonna see my friends. There's a gay bar.
Mm-hmm.
More than one.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And it's not confirmed whether or not it's run by a predator.
Right. Well, I think that was confirmed.
Oh, I know the one in Saskatoon was.
Oh.
I'm saying there's ones here that we're not sure. Maybe,
Yeah.
But we're sure in Saskatoon.
I used to sneak into that bar when I was 17. I had a fake ID, and that like I was going to that bar all the time, and it was great. I used to order vodka slimes all the time. My friends who were also my age had a fake ID. They were like DJing and also like serving there. And like I don't know if they like
Did they apply with a fake ID?
I have no idea. I literally have no idea. Like how are you working? Like do they
Cash,
know or like do they just not like they don't give a shit, or like you just your fake is that good? But they would like they were serving and DJing there, which was like a huge slay when we were like 17 to be like, oh my god, yeah, my friend is DJing like the only gay bar. It was a flex. And now looking back, I'm like,
Very dangerous.
mm-hmm.
Yeah. Very, very dangerous. The question of friendship leads into this question I've introduced in this new season, which is, as I always preface in these episodes, is like the term community gets like really thrown around a lot lately, and for good and ill, but it's also, I've really realized that it's this term that, just like friendship, it's something that I hear all the time, but I have no idea what it genuinely means to me, And again, it is this thing where I recognize that I'm rushing because like I'm lonely, you know what I mean? And so like I'm pushing for it, but that ends up making me like frantic, and like less fun to be around, And I'm curious to you, like when you hear a term like community, what does that mean to you initially?
It's it's a group of people that I like grow with. They help me grow, I help them grow. We choose to be in each other's lives, like because we want to be, not because we have to be. Like someone to lean on. And it's I think it's so important to the queer community is having that like second family, that community, because it really like that's the people that you see every single day. I see my friends more than I see my family. Like at this point in my life, I think my friends know me better than my family does. Which is like on one hand like a little like sad, but also like the people that I'm friends with right now, like they like raised me to be the person who I am today, and I'm like so thankful for that.
Yeah.
And I learned so much from them.
Yeah. I love that. How do you show up in community? Like what does that mean to you? Like, you hear this term like showing up, and like what does that entail for you? What do you value in someone who shows up in community?
I think that like what's worked in my friendships is supporting that person and like being there for them when they need you, and also being able to like call them out, tell them the like stuff that they don't want to hear, and not just like agreeing with everything that they're saying, and like really, yeah, like have like being okay like with like the ups and downs of a friendship, and like yeah, I think just like supporting everyone around you, whether that's like your best friend or like your friend's friend or someone that you've never met before, that like you have like bumped into. I think it's like it's so much easier to be nice and helpful and like be a supportive person um to people than it is to like just like brush them off.
Mm.
And I think that's and I think that's really why like these like circles of friends, these like second families are like they work so well, because everyone is not trying to get something out of it just for themselves. Like they're trying to like better each other as like a collective.
Oh, what an icy stare. Love it. Slay.
Slay.
I'm trying to incorporate more like young person.
Oh my god, I love that for you.
terms.
My new thing on texting is like, okay, I don't know why the past 2 months I've been I've been saying slay way more than I ever have in my life, and it's don't know why it just comes out, and it's so cringe and it's so annoying, but I'm just like slay. But now my new thing is that when I'm texting people, I send the like red Christmas like holiday sleigh emoji, and just like that'll be my answer, just slay.
I got that from you.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck is this?
I'll like send that to my boss, to like in emails. Like it's actually a problem at this point. I think it's just so funny, and like probably only to me, but I just think it's the best thing I've ever done in my life.
It's so good. Slay.
Slay. What's your favorite pop culture moment of the 20? I'm gonna leave it broad. Of just ever. I won't give you like a time period.
Favorite pop culture moment. Now, what do you qualify as pop culture?
I don't want to say like be like pop culture. How do you, whether like
I just mean what I mean by that is that it's like because that could be that could be broad or it could be narrow.
if
right?
you talk about Charles like
I can't talk about Charlie Chaplin is what you're saying.
if you give me some like bullshit story written in the 1800s, I'm gonna get up and leave. Like that's not that's what I mean by pop culture. Like artist performing, movie, scandal, performance, pop fucking culture, bud.
Okay. Okay. I think I have two.
Okay.
I think I have two, at least just like off the dome,
Off the dome.
of thoughts of it.
Okay.
I think in terms of like something that had like a profound impact on me.
Mhm.
I think seeing seeing Lion King in the theaters, in the movie theaters for the first time, and you know they do the whole intro and the circle, you know, and then it goes, the Lion King, and in the theater, in a packed theater at the blackout, my mom turns to me and goes, "Well, movie's over, let's go," and I burst into tears because
Oh,
I was like, I've been waiting for this movie for months,
yeah.
and you're telling me it was 5 minutes long. And then of course
Oh
the
my
movie
god.
starts. She starts laughing.
Your heart would have just like sunk there.
Literally.
That's funny. Your mom's funny.
Well, you know, she thinks so. I think seeing the Untitled D'Angelo music video was an awakening moment for me. That's for sure. Do you know the video I'm talking about?
No.
I was gonna say you're. I think you're too young for that. I'll link it in the show notes, and we can watch it after. But it's literally just a gorgeous, just ripped naked man singing the greatest melancholy love song ever written, and
That's
he's got
stunning.
this it's D'Angelo. He's got this incredible voice,
I don't know
and
who
he's
that
got these
is.
what are those called? The roots on the side. When they're really cut in at the crotch. The indents at your legs. And they're
in your body?
yeah.
Like, I think people call them like a V line.
Yeah.
Some people do call them cum gutters.
Yeah.
Which,
yeah. Well, fair.
or you're like Adonis line or something like that.
Yeah. His are just immaculate.
Some nice cum gutters.
And literally, and the camera, it's always threatening to go just literally millimeters lower,
You're
and
just banging like, please just
and at times it kind of dips just, and you're like, Eric, and it's never, and he's just he's racked with emotions.
Right.
And it's
awakening.
Fucking believable.
Okay, now I need to see this.
Yeah,
yeah.
And I remember seeing that on Much Music and just being like, oh, okay.
Interesting.
This raises some awareness
Some
in me.
wheels are turning. How
then-
do I get cum gutters? AskJeeves.com.
That's right, exactly. Metacrawler or whatever it was. But yeah, I think if I'm sure if I sat with the question, I could think of other ones, but I think those are the ones that just off the cuff, Maybe seeing Jurassic Park, My childhood was mostly spent watching movies and then quoting movies afterwards.
Right.
That was the way I got attention, was by just repeating lines and all the adults in the room laughing, because I'd be able to just recreate the movies for them, I remember seeing Spice World in the theaters 7 times and coming home every time and knowing more and more of the movie to the point where I could just reenact it in my bedroom, and
that's when cinema peaked, to be honest.
Yeah, when they jumped the bus.
I was literally just gonna say that.
Yeah.
The bus.
It's so good. Everybody always loves to say, oh, it's just a remake of Hard Day's Night, but I was like, I've never watched that. I don't fucking care.
Don't even know what that is.
Right? It's the Beatles movie from the 60s.
Yeah, sure.
Right? Yeah, exactly. Don't care, I have Spice World. I'm good.
Yeah. Are they in a fun, funky bus? No.
They might. Probably not. It was the 60s. It was just. Well, it might have been a funky. I'm spinning out. It's okay.
Did they wear tube dresses that have the British flag on it? No.
Now that I can give a almost definitive no.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Was
I've
one of
never
them-
seen it, so I'm not totally confident, but I'm pretty sure.
Which is your favorite Spice Girl?
Well, I was always Baby Spice. Yeah, Baby
Oh
Spice
my
was my
God.
girl. Looking back now as an adult, I think Sporty Spice is actually my girl, because she's by far the most genuinely talented.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, Emma, my girl.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel that. Baby was chef's kiss, and then Scary Spice is next. Loved her.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she was always the most fun.
Yeah.
I would always imagine being friends with them. What would
could
it be
you
like
imagine?
just to hang out? Not even going partying or just but just what if you just hung out with
Yeah,
Mel B and
can
watched
you-
a movie?
Can you braid my hair?
Right?
Can you paint my nails? Yeah. Can I wear one of your dresses?
I just thought the bells would be fun.
Oh yeah.
Jerry was always the one where I was like, you're too. She should have been called Scary Spice, because for a little 8-year-old queer baby, I was like, you're too much.
Yeah. Too much. She's the one who broke up the band.
And Victoria, posh, she, bless her heart, she's gone on to do well for herself. But I never saw her as actually a part of the group.
Yeah.
She was always just sort of. I feel like they positioned her to always be able to be crop outable just in case.
Right.
Because at any moment she could just
Yeah. Turn
not
off her
show up.
mic. She's not needed.
Can you think of a single I'm sure she has a line she sang herself, but can you think of a single line that off the top of your head that she sang with no one
No.
else accompanying her?
No, I have no idea. I I read somewhere recently that maybe it was either during the opening ceremony for the Olympics or just like when they were when they would tour, but they used to turn her mic off all the time. Actually, I don't think it was for the Olympics. I think it was like just touring. They would always turn her mic off. She'd get so fucking pissed. But like, I don't know, do something.
Right? Literally.
Sing a note.
Like, she just posed, you know? And like, absolutely, go for it, you know?
That's a slay.
Yes,
now
we loved her for it.
Now she's rich as fuck and married to a hot man and
with the most comedically misplaced voice of all time.
That could be a whole separate podcast. What's happening there?
I don't know. Every single time I forget. It's like my brain won't register it.
Yep.
So I see him and I'm like, gorgeous. And then I hear him speak and I'm like,
you're like, whoa.
What? That can't be right.
Huh.
Right? Every time. Like, for 20 years, I've been like, oh, no. He sounds normal. And then he speaks again. And I'm like, oh, what?
Okay. What? Is that like, would still do, but.
Obviously. Keep your mouth shut.
Yeah.
Just quiet down, David.
Was that your posh voice?
I don't know. That was just me. That was me putting on my posh voice. Quiet down, David.
Yes.
That's my, what's it called? Transatlantic? Is that what the accent is?
Let's bring that back too.
Yes. Yes, we should. Is that transatlantic?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what the accent is. I'm just enunciating. I
didn't go to acting school, so I'm gonna leave that in your court.
I sound a little too Werner Herzog when I do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't know who that
No.
is. One of my favorite games to play with you is to just make a reference and watch your face go blank.
Just like, yes,
but
sweetie.
You have such a nice reaction to it because you just go with it. You just go, totally it is. You know?
I love that for you.
It's really validating. It feels, it's very comforting for me because I'm pretty sure that's what was being done to me my whole childhood. So it feels very like nurturing to be like, yes, this old feeling.
Yeah.
You know?
I've gotten pretty good at just like listening to someone talk and just like, mostly from my exes. And it's just like, yeah, love. And in my head, I'm like having a whole conversation with myself.
Yes. Yes.
Maybe that's why I'm single.
You know what? That's their loss.
Yeah. It's my fucking gain, I'll tell you that much.
So, you know, I introduced this question in a previous episode that I was funny enough, speaking of an ex, I was interviewing Eddie and it kind of came to me. When we interviewed, I was in a pretty dark spot. I was feeling very low and I was feeling really lonely and isolated and you know, this circles back to stuff I've talked about just like this desperation for connection and this real loneliness and this really like, you know, feeling really stuck of like trying to reach out and not really getting the reciprocation, you know, and feeling older, feeling a little hopeless and hearing all these stories about like people who have, you know, 10 years built and, you know, lifelong friendships and all these things. And I'm like, I'm 36. That means I'm going to be almost 50 once I have a good friend. You know, like, fuck, right?
No.
But so at the core of it, it really boils down to, I mean, I know I'm being hyperbolic about that, but it's like, but actually it probably will be real. But at the core of it, it really boils down to this question of like, I've always struggled to make friends since I was a little kid, you know? I've never been able to maintain friendships or connections of any kind, you know? And how do you make friends?
Oh my God, I think about this all the time. Like especially with moving to Europe, I think that's like my like biggest like fear right now is like how the fuck do you make friends when you're 30 into like getting into a group that have already been friends for like a super long time. And like I've always made friends with like through other people as well. Like that's what has worked for me of like having a best friend and then meeting their friend and then we connect, or that friend will put us into like talks with another friend and like I've never had to like do it just like solo like since like elementary school, I guess, but I've no memory of like being 6 and trying to make friends.
Well, when you were 6, I remember my best friend in elementary school was his name was Corey Joyce, and we
Corey
met
Joyce.
because in grade 1 we sat down. We all had to bring our own pillows for like circle time, and he was sat beside me, and he had a Jurassic Park pillow, and
That's
I went,
cool.
I love Jurassic Park, and he
Mhm.
went, I do too, and then
Yeah.
we were best friends.
Yeah, it's so
you know?
easy to just be like, I like that.
Yeah.
I like that too. Should we be best friends forever? And
Yes.
it's like, absolutely.
Obviously, we should. You know, and I just we need to bring back personal pillows so that I can be like, I love that.
I
You're
love
my
that.
best friend now.
Mhm. That's everyone just brings like a pillow to the bar.
Yes.
What did you bring?
It's a
Oh
little
my God.
signifier.
Ah.
Actually, though, I think we might need. I think we
Okay.
might be onto something.
Wait, scrap the hanky code and just like your pillowcase in your back pocket.
There it is, right there. Although,
Mhm.
is that sort of akin to flying gang colors?
Up.
If you're carrying colors at your back pocket. I don't know. Am I way off?
Like I can see the like correlation there.
I'm also just imagining my pillowcase from grade 1, which my mom had made. She'd like custom made, and it had like little like Beatrix Potter mice on it, like little mice in like milkmaid dresses and bibs, and like just imagining that hanging out my back pocket.
Oh my God.
Like a crypt flag.
Who is he rolling with? Oh, those little fucking rats. I see them.
He's those rolling farm rats.
That's so funny.
Oh fuck! I like it though. I'm bringing back the bar
Do it.
pillow.
Do it. Well, you have to go to a bar.
I go sometimes. I've been known to go sometime. You're right. I just need to. No one invites me to things. You can't tell me you've invited me to anything, Taylor.
That is actually the meanest thing I've ever heard in my life.
We'll cut this part, but when was the last time you invited me to something?
That's fair. 'Cause I feel like every time I do something, it's with every other person who's also invited, and so it's just you'd be coming with Sarah, and so that's the invite.
Yeah, but she hates that.
Well, that's on her. Actually, it is my birthday next weekend. And I'm not just saying this because of you rudely just called me out. I don't have anything planned yet because everything fell through. But I was like, I'm gonna text James.
I love that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I don't know what we're doing yet. Might be a hotel, might be a dinner.
I'm probably not allowed, but you know.
Okay. Well, do you want me to invite you to things or not? I don't. It's okay. I just don't know. You figure that part of your life out, bud.
Taylor, I'm trying.
When there's like 11 people in a friend group, it's just
Chaos.
I don't text anyone. I'm like,
Yeah.
they'll all be there.
That's super fair. Yeah, we'll cut all that, but or maybe not. Who knows? Maybe I'll forget to in 2 months. Do you have any last little? Do you have a little question you want to throw in at the end? Anything before we do the last little wrapper up?
The only thing I ever think about, obviously, is Taylor Swift. That girl runs my mind. That's my fucking Roman Empire. I literally think about her every day. What
We also never really wrapped up that last question. We could probably, in order to be able to cut some of that out, maybe we could double back a little
what
bit.
was the last question?
Well, we were talking about making friends, and we were talking about how to make friends, and that actually really reminds me of a little bit about like, do you want to talk a little bit about this like crazy adventure you're going on, moving to like the UK, and like what the thinking behind that is, and like why are you leaving me now?
'Cause I don't have a funny quip to that. I'll be like, you're not gonna notice it much because I don't invite you anywhere. Apparently,
That's true.
no, yeah, I've always wanted to move to Europe. Since I've like been 18, and I wanted to do it like after school for a bit, and then I wanted a friend to go with me because I was too terrified to go alone. And then it's crazy to ask another 21-year-old to be like, do you want to move away to a land of the unknown? So then I didn't, and then I got like stuck in jobs and like growing my career. But it's like, always been like on the back of my mind. And then the cutoff age is like 30, and I'm turning 30 in a week. And so like a couple of years ago, I think it was after a Pride event. I don't know. I was fucking high as fuck, and I would like wrote a note in my phone being like manifesting. And then since then, like that just like that moment just like snapped, and it changed. Like the way I thought about moving to Europe. So I'm finally doing it. Hopefully, I mean I don't have the visa yet because it's still too early to apply. But I want to move to England. And I just want to do it before I'm like too old and I can't. And I know that if I don't do it, I'll like look back and like regret not doing it. And so yes, right. So I'm really excited. I want to move to Brighton, UK.
Beautiful.
And it's for 2 years. I don't know, maybe stay longer if I can figure out a way to do it. And just do it and have that experience and like travel and meet new people and like go into a different kind of job, try a new field and just kind of like live and be having fun. And I'm so excited.
We can tell. We can really hear it. You can really hear the excitement coming through.
I'm like, it terrifies me.
Yeah.
It terrifies me. So like every time I like actually think about it, I'm like, oh my god, I'm leaving in like 6 months.
Yeah.
Oh my god, 7 months. Oh my god. Okay. Wait. That's terrifying. But like,
it's amazing.
I'm so excited. I'm like, fuck. I get to. I want to just travel, and I have some friends in Europe, and I just want to like hop around and see the world. And I have always wanted to marry a British man.
Now's your chance.
Well, got put that ring on it.
Mm-hmm.
I've always loved like British like culture, so I'm really excited to like be immersed in that.
Well, I'm not trying to be derogatory. What's British culture to you? Like imperialism and bad teeth?
I love unspiced chicken, obviously. I love raiding the world for it and
potatoes.
Yeah.
You know, or I guess not potatoes, but like big sausages for breakfast. Yeah.
A full English breakfast. No, I watched, like, I was a huge Harry Potter fan growing up, and then I like started watching Coronation Street with my grandma and Skins and Doctor Who, which I noticed your TARDIS over there.
Mm-hmm. I also have a novelization of the first 5 seasons of Coronation Street.
Oh my god, that show is so wild.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just like love British humor and like the like architecture and like in some cities. That's what I mean by culture.
I know. Just
invading the world.
But no, I'm so excited for you. I'm so impressed by you. Like I'm just like, I think it takes so much courage to do what you're doing. I know a couple of friends who have done it and are just like never been happier, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so like it's scary and there'll be hard times, but like that's just called being alive.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And I just like I'm there's so many emotions I feel about it. I obviously I feel jealous, you know what I mean? And I feel very envious, but I'm also just like I'm so excited for you. And I just think that it's like it's such an incredible thing that you're doing, and I just like, you know, I'll just
I'm so excited.
Right?
It's terrifying. And like I have a niece who's almost 7 and a nephew who's turning 1 in like a month. And so like that sucks having to like leave and like not see them and like kind of miss that like growing up youth part and like leaving all my friends and like, oh my god, am I coming back after those years and everything is different and the whole dynamic has changed and then meeting new friends and a whole new, like that's absolutely terrifying.
Yeah.
But it'll be worth it, and I get to drink cheap beer and make out with British boys.
Yeah.
And yeah.
It's gonna be great. I
have
love it.
so much. I'm like my mind is like making like a list right now. I'm like, I need to this. I'm like, oh yeah.
Is it too corny? Is it too basic to like get off the plane listening to London Boy, or is that
Oh, like literally, I'll be doing that.
Okay.
When I went to New York a couple years ago, as we were landing, I played "Welcome to New York."
okay?
Obviously, like yeah.
Okay, I wasn't sure what the impulse was there.
I love a London boy.
'Kay.
Camden Market.
Mm-hmm. Boy, that's all. I just know.
Was that you singing London?
Woo. I'm doing the backup. Part. I'm not Taylor. I'm not doing the lead. I'm doing the backup parts.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Thank God you're not taking the lead. Thank God.
Oh, you know I'm doing it, but not.
You're doing something. I'm like, yeah, I'm love that for you.
You're hearing it though, right?
I'm kind of hearing it. I'm like, how?
I'm trying to do that like
have
the
you heard
little
the song
robot,
like one
the
time?
like robot voice at the bottom, you know. It doesn't matter.
Well, we'll link the actual version in the episode so that people don't listen to that.
That might demonetize me. I don't know. Probably not.
And the cum gutters won't.
Who knows? Who knows such things?
Saying fag at the first minute of this episode, that won't, but a Taylor Swift music video will.
The joke is I'm not monetized, so it's fine. You know. Well, listen, I just have the one wrap-up question, but before we do that, you know, Taylor, I adore you. I love you so goddamn much. I feel so lucky to have you in my life, and I'm just so like yeah, I know that I and how I came into the group has the potential to make things weird, and obviously I know the reality of where I stand if things come to push come to shove. But I just hold so much love in my heart for you, and I just think you're just such an amazing person, and I genuinely feel really lucky to know you and to have you as a friend. And if that's only for a little bit or if that continues, either way, it doesn't change that I really love you. So,
you're very sweet. And I've always been like a big fan of you. I've always thought you're like a really good person, and happy that got to know you. Are you gonna come visit me in Europe?
Duh.
Okay, well this is me inviting you.
Yeah, 100%. Hey, there you go. Hey, that's
ding,
two
ding,
invites.
Ding,
So what I like to do to wrap up the episode is I like to ask my guest, if there's one tip you could give my listeners to try this week to be a better friend, whether it's to themselves or to their community.
I was thinking of this when I was in the bathroom, and as you were yelling at me, put the seat down.
Hey, I didn't yell. I said it calmly before.
Flush it with the seat down. Okay. That's my that's how you said it in my head.
Okay. I was gonna say you could hear me screaming it in my mind. Yeah.
Flush it with the seat down. Okay. Yes, mother.
So your tip is put the seat down?
No. I want your listeners to think of a friend in mind, whether you talk to them all the time or it's been a couple years. Go back and like find like a really old photo of like a really like fun time that you had, and like send that photo and like a thinking of you text, because I love getting a text out of the blue that isn't like a question or needing a follow up, or like there's nothing like expected out of it. It's just like I thought of this and I saw this and I thought of you. So send a really fun memory to someone that you miss, just out of the blue.
I love that so goddamn much. That's such a good one. Oh, I love it. I'm going to do that. I'm going to dig up a photo of something and yes,
right?
I love it. I love it. Well, is there anywhere, do you want listeners following you anywhere? Do you want them to find you somewhere? Do you want to stay mysterious?
Ooh, mysterious. No, you can follow me. I feel like I post like once a quarter.
Yeah. Famously mysterious.
Famously. Yeah, what is my handle is Padget with 3 T's. PADGTTT.
That'll be in the show notes. Well, one more time, Taylor, I love you.
Love
Thank
you.
you
Thanks
so
for
much.
having me, baby.
Yes, this is a long time coming.
Yes, and I wasn't hungover today, so I didn't bail.
Mm.
Well, I was a little hungover today.
I was gonna say, let's check that record.
It's a Thursday.
We don't need to close on a lie here, you know. And that's it. Thank you one more time to Taylor for coming on the show. He's an absolute sweetheart, and I wish him all the best in his travels, going to Europe, seeing Taylor Swift as many times as humanly possible, and just continuing to be the magic little guy that he is. Be sure to give this episode a 5-star review wherever you listened. It is free for you, and it helps the podcast out so much. And if you can't get enough Friendless content, be sure to sign up for the weekly Substack. You're going to get a brand new mini essay every week, along with a monthly playlist that I build out week by week, as well as recommendations for books, movies, music, self-help tips, all kinds of stuff recommended straight to your inbox. It's a ton of fun. It's always free. Sign up in the show notes. You're going to love it. Also, if you haven't already, be sure to follow my Instagram writing account, Hey, Sorry I Missed You. I'm doing a year-long project right now where I'm posting a micro chapter every day of my novel in verse, which is essentially just a collection of poems that tell a story. In this case, the poems are a series of voicemails that are being left to people from the narrator's past as they try to sort of unpack where they've been and decide where it is they're going in life. It's manic, it's morbid, it's overly sentimental, it's bitter. It's everything I love about poetry and just being alive. I've spent the last couple years tinkering with it, and I've been loving the reception to it so far. Go check it out. The links are in the show notes. But that is it for me, so I'm going to wrap this up here. Next week is going to be the January Little Guy wrap-up episode, so if you have any questions you'd like answered on the show, be sure to message them to me either on Instagram or TikTok at FriendlessPod, or you can email me, friendlesspod@gmail.com. I love doing these episodes, and I cannot wait to record this new one, but I'm going to leave that for now, and you should too, because that is then, and this is now. So for now, I'll just say I love you, and I wish you well. Fun and safety, sweeties.